What is up, everybody? Your boy is back with another episode of Bullish's Top Stocks to watch the week and why I was gone for a couple weeks. Need a little bit of a break. Got out of the country. That was a lot of fun, but I'm back. I'm trying to get back into the swing of markets. I kind of been out for the last couple weeks, really. Most of my trading account has been kind of on the side. Since kind of that dip after the Houston freeze. I kind of like lost power for a week, and it was just kind of I didn't want to like just get back in anything. I like to do research. I like to look at shit. But now that I'm back, just very excited for kind of what I'm getting into, but trying to take things slow, But before we get into it, hey, a few things. Hey, these are only my opinions. Do your own due diligence. Give us a sub here on YouTube. Help us feel good about ourselves. Let's engage. And also, hey, drop something on the comments. Let me know what y'all watching. Trading and investing is easier when you're in a group where you do it, so you have different eyes on different things. So I've always wanted to like have a group of people that hey, let's just like talk shit, talk some stocks and shit like that. And yeah, also I am sorry. I just did a leg day. I ran outside and I went grocery shopping, so I have not showered. I am hungry as fuck. I just wanted to get this out of the way and done. I was thinking about it on my run, and I was just like, fuck it, let me just go into it, type some shit up. I do have show notes and stuff usually that I do, but yeah, so typed it up real quick and said, hey, let's get it out so I can get something to eat. Anyways, let's jump into it. Looking at this week, I have two ETFs and one actual stock. The stock I'm going to revisit. The two ETFs I don't think I've talked about before, but you probably see it up on the screen right now. If you can see that, basically we're looking at ARK K, and I'm a big fan of Cathie Wood. She's a great money manager, great. She's to me. It seems when I see her interviews or anything like that, she also has emails that go out. I think daily, if not or weekly, if not daily. But basically, she always seems like she's like, if not the smartest person in the room, the most informed person in the room. So I really like, I kind of follow her, not religiously, but, definitely since kind of like March took off where her main ARKK started taking off. I've been watching her and kind of just following her and stuff like that. And the market's kind of slowly doing that. But also, you never really want to do what everyone else is doing. And I think everyone really is bullish on her. So maybe there's some with that. But also, I've wanted to get into. I actually watched her. I never really got into her ETFs before because they were just on ripping, and I don't like buying on rips. I like buying on dips for reversal, and I thought that this was the perfect opportunity to start looking at into it again for Cathie Wood, specifically her main ARK K that we're looking at on the screen. But yeah, so hope, but also she's betting on a big. She's betting on a big dip and kind of take off for growth in tech. She's like averaging down her positions in like Palantir and Tesla and shit like that. That's kind of ballsy and risky. So if you're going in it with her, you're kind of knowing that that's what she's doing because she bet big on growth because that was kind of the driver after March. But now, the market could be turning to something else. We'll see. But it's for me, it's worth a shot because, like I said, she's a bad person. And anyways, let's jump into it real quick. I'm trying to do it in like 17 or 20 minutes. I thought that 15 minutes when I was trying to rush 15 minutes was talking too fast. But when I was doing like 45 minutes, that was too kind of slow. So let's see if I get to that good 17, 20 minutes. Still playing with different formats. But anyways, jumping into it as I keep track of the time. You know how I like to do? I like to look at the month level first. Excuse me. Whew. This is good. Like it's a shot of uh, turmeric, lime, and pineapple with some water and ice. Man, it's just good if you're like feeling a little sick and stuff like that. Since I got back from the trip, I kind of been feeling a little weird, so I just definitely want to keep my immune system up. But anyways, sorry that was a random aside. But basically, looking at it, like I said, hey, looking at the month level since March, that's kind of when we had that big dip, and that's when she really started going off on her tangent in terms of like growth and shit like that. If you will see it here at the month level, we are kind of overextended. There's been 2 months of really heavy selling over average, so that's very alarming. But also, to me, it's not the worst thing just because once it's taken off, I like to catch things at this 10 EMA on the week level, but this is the month, so that's fine. But this first blue line, I want to catch things when it touches here. What I like about this specifically is this is a really important area of support and a channel, and I can look at it. We'll look at it again in a little bit, but basically, as long as it held this, that was kind of like a good sign to me for now. But also, you will see like, hey, selling average was really hard in February, and so far in March. It's kind of it's still there. It's still the selling average. We're only halfway through, but it could still go up from there. It is going to go up from there. We'll see how it turns out for the month. Also, the RSI was oversold for a while, so this needs to get corrected for a while. Since it took off, it never really stopped. So this is like an important time to start kind of consolidating at the RSI level. MACD doesn't look too bad, but it looks like it's going a little bit diverging from being moving average convergence divergence. Is moving more to converging from diverging or going flat, but still like at the month level, it's a little mixed. At the week level, kind of more of the same there. What I like about this though is it shows clear channel support and like throughout the different time frames. So basically, you have an upper channel here. You have kind of like a lower channel here. But what's great about it is still going, it's respecting it. It's respecting at the top for sure. And it's so far it has respected at the bottom, which is a good sign for me. Like I said, hey, I like to catch things when it's dipping almost like, well, over this 10 EMA, but basically this line at the week level, I want to catch it when it's going here to shoot back up. But what I like about it, and I'll show in the day level, is it is showing channel support so far. We'll see if that holds. But as it gets closer to this channel, hey, sell off, buying comes in at the week level. So far, we'll see how that goes. But what I also like is the RSI. It was like super going down, right? So as we know, overbought, oversold. It was trending to more of that oversold area. It hit about 48. At 30, you usually have like it's reversal territory, but so far it's reversed at 48 to kind of pick up a little bit. And this looks like it's still going down MACD at the week level, but it looks like it wants to round a little bit more. So good signs there, kind of mixed, but still overall not too bad. What I like about this one at the day level, though, is what made it interesting to me and why I wanted to kind of take a look at it again was, like I said, hey, channel support here. But also something that to me that was really important was this right here is like a significant area. I'm not saying it's an area of support. I'm just saying it's an area of significance. This 105.78 because it showed support here over different. Hey, boom. You can kind of look at this over. Since 1014, it was kind of like an area that it showed respect to, and it's still kind of doing that. You kind of see a couple days after that where it kind of touches goes. Sells off, touch goes, 3 days here where it's kind of touching that, it's going, and it kind of did the same here. But also, I like a lot about this. What it's doing so far, because if you see it, like I said, hey, right here, also an area of support. Now it's resistance, but also hopefully it's support again because it's been support before. So sometimes you got to look a little bit further back. But the further you go back, the less I think relevant they are in terms of support and resistance. So hey, it hit the top of the channel. Okay, cool. It's going to have to sell off. You get that. You either get a sell off or you get a break. And this one just wasn't ready to sell off. You can kind of see that though, because here at the RSI, it was already shooting down. So you can kind of tell that, hey, it was gonna hit this and bounce off. That's natural. That's fine. But also right here was interesting. You have a really solid hammer here. And what I mean by hammer, it looks like a hammer at the bottom. This is very bullish when it's on the bottom of the pattern, not so much when it's on the top. But when it's on the bottom, it is super bullish usually. It shows that there's a reversal possible. But you use things in combination. So what I see when I look at this is I see a hard sell-off for 3 consecutive days, right? Pretty bearish. You have this sentiment here. You have increasing volume coming up, ever increasing selling volume. But at that highest point of selling volume, it's a bullish pattern on a descending, stock where you have this hammer, and then you see reversal. You see a couple things here. You see this 200 EMA, which is very significant area of support, but also an area. So in itself, that's significant here. But also you see it respected this former area of importance. So you kind of have almost 3 indicators there, that says, hey, this might be something of significance. So, me, like I like to catch things on the reversal. 3-8, that was last Monday. Got in a little bit after because what I want to do is I want to wait to see because it's usually a 3-pattern thing. I caught it kind of here on the way back up. And what I do like is it caught another area of support and didn't sell off from there. So, hey, we'll see how it goes. But at the day level, it's enough for me. I'm good on this one already, but it was for me, it was like a thing that I wanted to get into. So worst case, if it breaks that channel, you have to decide what you want to do. But hey, for me, so far so good. But also everything's mixed, right? Because tech is still selling off. But I think, like I said, RK, if you're into ETFs, which I'm kind of into ETFs, but they're kind of boring. But the right ETFs are the ones that I want to watch. Going into another ETF that it's BETZ. Bets. So Bets is a sports betting kind of play here. But what I like about, and again, like, hey, people are going to say, some people have qualms with betting. I get it. But gaming betting is hot right now. And this ETF has exposure not only to like your traditional ones for like MGM casinos and stuff like that. It also has, on the tech side, it has PIN, it has holdings in PIN National Gaming and DraftKings. So it has that as well. Only half of the states have legalized electronic gambling or app gambling to date. So there's a lot of upside there, It's relatively inexpensive at the time. Right now, $32. They actually talked about this on Seeking Alpha podcast, the Saturday one. So, hey, I'm a big podcast guy, but anyway, Seeking Alpha, which, I love when they kind of get insights in it. I thought it was worth a look because they kind of brought it up. It's an ETF play to be safe, but I like to play ETFs to gain exposure and limit kind of my risk, I guess, to new industries that I'm not familiar with. I played Pin before and DraftKings before, not with much success. So I think this was like a better way to kind of jump into it to kind of test the industry because I'm not necessarily like a betting guy, right? Unless you count stocks. But also, this is up 56% in the last 6 months. So it could be extended. But also, this only started trading, I think, in June. Yeah, June of 2020. So relatively fresh, but that's good and bad. That's, in that it just kind of started trading, but it's up, damn near 60% in 6 months. So wow, that's crazy. But also what I like about this, so like I said, hey, at this level, you can't really see a lot because it's relatively new at the month level. So we'll have to jump in a little bit forward to kind of get a little bit deeper into kind of RSIs and shit like that. Volume over average. Volume is the most important thing. I mean, you can't see it here, but everything's going the right way. I like to have these things lined up. I like to have the 10, the 25, the 50, and the 100. It's doing that at the month level. It's fine. The moving average convergence divergence right here is just getting wider. We don't have an RSI to speak of yet, but it's still in an upward channel at the month level. It's fine. This is a little concerning right here, but also we're still in March because, like I said, this at the top is not the best thing. You want to see this at the bottom. That's okay, but still we have half a month left, so we'll see kind of how that shakes out. So yeah, at the month level, we'll step into the week level real quick. And what was another one that was interesting to me is you do see selling at the week level, and it's touching this area here. This is an area of support or resistance here at 32.43. So I have an alert to say, hey, once it breaks that, let me know. But still at the channel level, hey, it's an upward channel. It's respecting the top and the bottom. So this is still moving in the right way for me. Even after that sell off here at the week level, like I said, hey, I like to catch things at this 10 EMA, and basically it hasn't touched the 10 EMA since fucking 11/2 of last year. So I thought that was a good opportunity. Cool, like I caught it. We're watching it here after it touched this the week after. I guess last week would have been probably the best week, but still, it showed channel support. It's showing it's touching this 10 EMA. Nice. Also at the RSI level, it's picking up. MACD, like I said, it was pinching, but it's going back to being bullish. Hopefully at the week level, so things look like they're fine there. But it is an important area of resistance here because it hasn't been able to break this 32.37. So honestly, like for me, I think that this is like a really interesting play to watch, if not trade. Like I said, hey, this at the day level, this is probably like a really good entry for me. I just wasn't watching it then at 3.5, but after a decline from an area of resistance, it found a hammer here and then reversed off of that. You have a few things here. You have a hammer, you have support here from previously, you have a channel. You have the channel also. So those like already three indicators that are like, kind of leading me in that direction. And also you have the 50 EMA being an area of support. So that's a lot of strong support there. And then it bounced off of that. We'll see what it does. Like I said, I don't like to buy in the middle. I like to buy at the bottom usually or the top after a break. We'll see what happens when this breaks. If that breaks it, I feel comfortable kind of maybe getting in. I'd prefer a sell-off, which it looks like it's still mixed. Like I said, hey, the RSI at the day level is kind of like a little bit flat to kind of declining. The MACD looks like it wants to pinch from being bullish to being bearish to being bullish. You see all this red shit. For the first time, it looks like it wants to touch and then shoot off to have some of these green candles here. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, but I think that this is a really interesting one to watch, especially being an ETF and especially being in a really hot sector, gaming. All right, like I promised, 2 ETFs and 1 fucking stock, and I'm gonna go for my stock because they had earnings on 3/10, and this is an ugly chart. Don't get me wrong. It's like ugly, but it's not ugly at the same time. It's like me, I'm kind of ugly, but I'm not like super, super ugly. And that's kind of how I see this chart, honestly, in a way. DocuSign, I've called this out actually 2 or 3 times already. Originally, I called it out on 12/27. I actually put a little marker here when I called it out. I called it out on 12/27 here, basically. And what I was saying was watch as it goes down. And the reason I was watching this was it had great earnings. Motley Fool, which I said, hey, Motley Fool and Seeking Alpha, 2 really good podcasts to get ideas. They kept on talking about it. So finally I was like, fuck it, let me take a look into DocuSign. I really loved it. And, I kind of got caught here, but I knew what I wanted to do. I was going to take it to this level here and see and look for a reversal. I called it out again on this day. I think it's like, 11 or 1-3 or something like that. And I caught it all the way up. I not all the way up. I caught it to, I forgot where, but basically I made out good on this one. But basically what I liked about it for this time to call it out. Going fashing forward again, what I really enjoyed about DocuSign was like the Molly Fool podcast when they called it out. Hey, they at the end of this year, DocuSign will be a 2 billion revenue company. That's fucking significant. COVID did kind of pull forward some of those gains. But also after at the end of COVID, I think DocuSign is still in a strong area of position to be a pre-COVID and post-COVID, or pre-COVID, during COVID, and post-COVID play, because those dynamics of like document signings to me have shifted, and they're also leveraging other things like document analytics and stuff like that. So they're a leader in this industry, and basically it's them and Adobe. Who else is doing it? No one. And I think that DocuSign just has the best exposure and like the market leader for that one. 57% quarter revenue growth, 900,000 customers worldwide. That's 100,000 shy of a million. That's going to be a big monumental like piece of news when they hit 1 million customers. Oh, that's going to be great. They are trading 20 times forward sales. That's expensive. Don't get me wrong, but it's relatively inexpensive when you look at other tech and growth leaders, honestly, that can do at 40, 50 times forward sales. So that 20% or that 20 times is probably starting to matter now as more people shift from tech growth to value, or some symbiance of whatever that new normal is going to be. So that's something to keep an eye on. But also after their earnings on 310, they sold off really hard, even though they had great earnings. Basically, for earnings, you want to beat the revenue, you want to beat the EPS, and you want to have forward guidance. There's a fourth one in there that people talk about. I think it's like GAAP or some shit. Anyways, the three I look at are revenue, quarter, or earnings per share, and then forward guidance. That forward guidance is really hard when you get in COVID, but they gave great forward guidance, still sold off. You can argue that it's been a hot boy, so it needed to cool off. But what I like about this, like I said, the charts are kind of ugly, like they're ugly like me, but like they're also like not the most ugly. Like, there's uglier ones, but also, so for here, when I mean the ugly, at the month level, it's pretty mixed. Well, actually, no, it's not mixed. It sucks. Fucking RSI, it was going really, really hot at 91. Ooh, it needed to cool off. That was a bad boy. It needs to cool off. But since this is so big, it's taken a while for it to cool off. But still, so it's, it hit that high and it's just been floating down since then, making lower highs and lower lows kind of in a way. Definitely lower highs. And you see that RSI doing that. It's cooling off to something that makes sense. The MACD almost wants to pinch to be more bearish at the month level, but still it's kind of floating here. It's kind of been floating at this 180 to 246. I mean, that's a big range, don't get me wrong, but it's not like doing it. It's kind of meandering down the road. So it's, to me, the price hasn't cooled off at the month level as much as the indicators say that they should. There might still be more to come. We'll see about that. But basically, also when you look at the week level, it starts to look a little bit better to me. But things look better, everywhere from the smaller time frames up to the bigger one. The smaller time frames are the bigger time frames, a subset of the smaller ones, or the opposite way. So you have to see the day change, then you see the week change, then you see the month change. So it just keep you a slower mover here, but also, like I said, hey, for this one at the week level, it's selling off. And what I don't like about this one right now is this 10 EMA is like pretty significant. So if this crosses this down, we'll see some hard selling here. But so far, this level of 189 has been the area of support since fucking 713 of last year, basically ish, right? It's been an area of significance since 629 of last year. Right, obviously last year. So, as it hits this area, be on the lookout because it could find a little bit of support here. I'm probably going to add like a little alert here just to kind of let me know. I don't think that this is going to like blow off and like, just because the indicators to me don't say that this is going to like blow up and then like rip right now, but it could be something that it sells off to something that makes sense, especially at this area here, which is where I'd want to get it and to see what it's going to do. And if it breaks that, you kind of pivot and it's a long way to go from there. So if it held this, that would be great. I think it's going to touch this. I do think it wants to race to that, at least at the week level. But also, hey, at the week level, we're seeing volume over average bearish coming in. We're seeing this RSI kind of round. So it was in a sharp decline. It's kind of at least stabilized to kind of almost wanting to pick up at the week level here, right? And this MACD still wants to go down, right? So it's still diverging at a bearish level, but it's not, it's not at the end of the world at that point. And hey, I like this in a way, just how long this has kind of like been at this same level. It hasn't picked up that next leg to kind of shoot off, but it hasn't sold off either. So I think it's just kind of trying to float down and consolidate right here at the lower level to kind of make that new leg up, or maybe it sells off because tech and growth are just like not the thing. I just think that DocuSign, even though it is technically like a tech growth play, it still has pre, during and post COVID legs once it finally kind of gets it there, right? But I definitely want to catch it here at this lower level, 189, 189 ish. That would be great, 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 great for me because, like I said, hey, it's respect to the top of this channel. Also channel. Sorry. Also, I didn't even mention that it's kind of like two channels, which is interesting. And all the time when I see these, when they bisect, when I have one channel doing one thing, one doing the other thing, you see like right here, X marks the spot. It just sold off on that, right? Okay, cool. So that's an area too in the future to make note of. Like, hey, this is something that is interesting because this has been a really strong area of something of like a channel, two channels crossing almost. Like I said, still selling off. We'll see what it does at the bottom here, but I like that. RSI is definitely shitting, right? So RSI is going down on day level. MACD at the day level is kind of floundering to staying flat, signifying that, hey, this thing is just really mixed. But at the same time, it's had such great earnings. It's just not getting the love. I think it will get love eventually. It's just putting it on your radar and watching it. All right. That is it for me this week. Oh, also AMD. I didn't look at AMD yet this week. Let me just look at it like as I'm doing this. But basically, AMD has oh shit, interesting one for AMD. So that would have been really nice here. So AMD has it never broke 100. It broke, but it didn't go over. Oh no, it never broke 100. Anyways, AMD is an interesting one just because AMD has like new chips. A new chip presentation this week. I think it's like Wednesday or Thursday. Usually when you see that, you get some movement there. And I just think the AMD's been so, oh man, that would have been a nice catch at 75. But also it looks like AMD at the day level, hey, it looked kind of good. It, definitely had this really hard resistance here at 94, sold off from there. And you can see it, you can see it hit that and just flounder off down to this RSI of 29. And now it's picking back up. AMD doesn't look too bad. The MACD's pinching to be bearish or bullish from bearish. The RSI is coming up. It's kind of floating. So if it broke this level here, which it already did of 80, it could be an interesting play. I don't see AMD going much lower than that just because like it's been an area since 921. This area here of $74 has been a really important area of resistance. I've been watching AMD for a while. I don't play it as much as I watch it, but at the same time, hey, that's actually not bad. Oh, this is where it doesn't look too good though. At the week level, it still looks like it wants to sell off here. This 10 EMA wants to pinch with this one a little bit and maybe push down. So this could be just pushing it down further a little bit. There's no volume over average coming in, but still the catalyst might be that chip event because it was last time. I played the last chip event that they did. I think it was like in the end of the month, like November, October of last year. And it was interesting. It sold off during, but like the buildup was really good. So you might see more of the same here. Anyways, ARK K, two ETFs, and basically, I guess, two stocks at this point. But you had ARK K. I'm a big Cathie Wood fan. I think that she's, if not the smartest person in the room, she's the most well-informed person in the room for sure. Bets, gaming, another ETF. Gaming is hot. Sage one about betting. It's going to be a really hot industry, especially as the second half of the states open that up. DocuSign, it's selling off. Motley Fool loves it. I love it, but it's not a matter of me loving it. It's kind of like a group consensus. And AMD, fuck it. Watch AMD because of all of the, that whole chip thing that's going to come out. I think that's going to be a really good catalyst. Anyways, like I said, drop what you're watching here maybe in the comment section. Let's take a look, make some notes about it. It could be, something interesting, that I don't see or maybe that you see, that I don't or I do that you don't. But anyways, I appreciate it. Y'all stay blessed. I'm going to go take a shower and get something to eat. Peace.